So it was just annealing these wee washers here for, you know, the bottom bolt. You can replace them or anneal them, and I was just doing that there. So anyway, look, it's been a bit of a while coming, a series of videos and different bits and pieces of preparation. And here's my new gold fork tubes. And so we're just going to assemble one of these forks here to let you see what the process is. And just one more wee thing, you see the finish on that bottom fork tube there. That's exact. I mean, even though I have sprayed that with a satin black paint, the stock color is kind of, it's not full gloss, but it's not kind of satin either. It's it's kind of an in between. So what I done was I actually polished the satin black paint with T-cut first, and then this Meguiar's scratch blemish remover, and that just gives it that nice factory look, you know. That's not full gloss, but at the same time it's just that tiny wee bit above a satin, you know. But anyway, look, here's new fork seals and dust covers. There's new bushes here, and obviously a fork oil, new fork oil here. You'll see the color of that whenever I start using it, and compared to the old stuff. I've got new bug guards or stone guards, whatever the case is, and and also new clips as well. So let's get going on it, and get one of these here done. Like I was saying in one of the other videos, these gold fork tubes come with a bottom bush already on them, but seeing as I'm putting everything on new, I'm just going to use one of the bottom bushes from this kit that I bought new. So we'll just take one of these here out and use it. Okay. And the other thing is I want to do is decant a little bit of this fork oil into a jar just to apply. Okay, so there you are. I'm using what the manual says here. It's what is it, a 10 weight? I think it's a 10 weight. 10 weight. Fork oil. So we're just going to put wee bit of fork oil around there first, and in there too, and get this new bush on. There you go. Okay, put some around that there as well. And there. Right, now, again, another thing that I had pointed out in, I think it was the second video, can't really remember, is that the manual actually says that this is to go on here, and then this is to go down into the end. But that's not right, as I demonstrated. It's just not right at all. So the way, because the forks just wouldn't work. So the way we're going to do this is the way I took the forks apart, and that is that this was in the end here like this. Okay, just make sure there's plenty of fork oil around there and there. Okay, and that part of it there is in the end. So now we're just going to offer that into that like that. Okay. Again, we're using plenty of fork oil here. And here. All right. And plenty on here for the last thing we want to do is to mar that in any way. All right. So then that just goes down in there like that. And then we can use my little adapter here that I was showing. I'll just put some fork oil up that as well. That will just go on there like that. Okay. And now we can use this fork driver or fork seal driver, but I've adapted it to use this here. There. And there. Okay. Right, I want to keep this up a wee bit here and just use this here to drive this in. I think that's it. Okay, so that's fully home, and how you can tell that is, I don't know if you can see that, but there's the top of the bush there, and there's the top of where it has to be seated to. And you know what I mean, if you get a tiny wee screwdriver and you can kind of feel that both of those are level, you'll actually hear the change in the note of the driver whenever that's fully home. So that's in perfectly, and we'll just continue on now. We're going to put this washer or spacer, whatever way you want to term it, in. Okay. That's next. And the next thing is one of a new seal. Okay. So they give you some fitment grease, which we will use. And I mean, these are brand new fork tubes, etc. You know, and I'm going to you know what I mean, there's no chance of anything getting, you know, there's no pitting or anything on those because they're brand new. And but still, even you don't want to damage that little lip there at all. So we're just going to put a little bit of this this grease that's supplied, like a rubber grease. Certainly do not want to in any way damage the new seals, because that's the whole purpose of this, you know. And a common thing that people do, and you know, is see a little plastic bag like that, but just cut the just cut this part here off it. Getting a bit messy here. I'm gonna maybe yeah, and put that on there like that. This is just one of the wee Ziploc bags that the that everything came in. Just make sure there's no wrinkles or anything in it. This is just to get it over the top, you know, the top lip. There, you know, the last thing you want to do is to get your new seal damaged in any way, getting it over that. So, and then the rest of that will just go down in there. All right, it should be a tight enough fit because, you know, it's brand new. But once you get it over that, that's fine. Look, and then you can just slide it right on down to the bottom there. Then you can take that off. I'll take that off and see if I can get it off without ripping it and save it for the next one. All right, so there you are. And now we're going to use this seal driver to drive it in on the 43mm adapters. I'll just put fork oil in that. You notice I'm doing that a lot because I certainly don't want to do that. Just checking there, but you want to make sure the seal's up the right way, which it is. Right, let's get this on. Getting to the stage now where my hands are getting a wee bit kind of oily, but that's the way that is. Now I'll just drive that home now. That seal, and you want to drive it down. You want to drive it home that it's down beyond the groove in there. That you know, to allow you to put the clips in. Okay. So again, I'm keeping this up a wee bit here. Just want to keep it up. Just checking that groove down a wee bit yet. Hard to see it, but I just want to make sure I'm down far enough to I think that's it. That's it. Okay, so you probably can't even see this here, but you know, there is a groove. There is a groove just there. Just there. You know. Now you don't want to touch that there, obviously, with a screwdriver, you know. But it's just to sort of show you there's a tiny wee groove there for the clip to locate into. So we'll just put the clip in now. Here's the wee clip. And we're just going to slip it in there like that. Where can I do that a bit closer so that you could see it there? All right, I think I will. I'll try. I just get it in there like that, like that. Right, I'm trying to do it so that you could hear it clicking in. That's it. There it is. All right, so I'll be using my new wee, well, my newly made wee tool, and again, you drop a fork oil on all of that, you know, just to sort of ease it in. Okay, and this here's going down and engaging in that white base that I put in earlier there. I could screw this part on here, this piston puller, just to sort of ease it right down in, and just make sure that it's engaged in that, right? Right, so we'll be putting this plus that annealed washer on, or gasket, you know, and a wee bit of blue thread lock on that, and then I can take that back out again, that piston puller back out again, and torque this up. Okay. Just keep that pushed down in there. Do I tighten that up temporarily? Right. Now I can take this out. And I can use this tool here. Right, now we can tighten this here up. All right, so we're going to torque that up next. There you go. Right, there you go. What's now? Yes, I can put the dust cover on. Still getting a bit messy in it. There you go. Just a matter of pushing that home, and that's it. So, next thing is put the oil into this. There you go. Okay, so it gives a measurement volume of 470 milliliters. Now, I, as I was saying in one of the other videos, I've no way of knowing how accurate this is here, but I'll put a bit more in than normal, or than you know, it's showing here. And also I'll pull this here up. Okay, so as I can pump this here up and down. Far nicer colour that than the stuff I pulled out, isn't it? Okay. All right. Okay, so that's the oil poured in, and I'm pumping this here up and down to dispel any air, and the same here. Okay, so we'll just let that settle for a wee minute. Make sure that there's no air bubbles in it. So just let it settle for a wee while. And I have poured in more than is necessary. And the reason is that, I mean, they give you a measurement of 470 milliliters, and you can do that off, you know, an accurate an accurate pouring jug, but or measure jug. But I just want to demonstrate this. Let's see this tool. Yeah. This tool here. This here. And the reason being is, you know, it gives you quite an accurate way of measuring the oil level. That would be the oil level, and this here goes to the top of the fork tube. And what you do is you adjust this here up and down until it is at according to the manual, it's let me see, 129 millimeters. And then all you simply do is, I mean, I have this piston puller on here, and that's fine. But you're fully depressing that to there, and you're trying to keep the fork as kind of upright as possible without it falling. And then you drop this here down in, and that little tube will go into the oil, and you really need a second set of hands or someone to hold that, you know, while you were doing that. But basically that's all you do, and then you suck this here, and it will pull up the excess amount of oil that there is, and you can see that actually happening there until it reaches the right level. And when it reaches the right level, there'll be no more oil to pull out, and it'll just pull out air. That's it. So there's no, I mean, it can't suck out any more oil because it has reached the level that it's supposed to be at. And that's it. That's it. That's the amount of oil in excess I put in there. Okay, so we just pull this up here. We just pull this here rod up until we've got 11 millimeters, or at least 11 millimeters from the top of that to the top of that nut. And like I say, if you ever take that nut off, make sure that there's a flat side and there's like a slightly curved side. You keep the slightly curved side down and the flat side up. So we're aiming for at least 11 millimeters, and we have it. So just put that on there like that, just temporarily. So the next thing we want to put in is the spring, and that's the way we took the springs out, with this tighter or closed end at the bottom. So we're going to put that in now and just put it in slowly like that. Okay. And then we're going to put the washer in, and then we're going to, I'll just pull this on up. Right, we've got our bottom washer in. Now we'll put our spacer in, another spacer in, or sorry, another washer in there. Okay, and we can lift this here up or push that down and hook it onto the side there. See where it's hooked onto the side of that washer? I'm going to take that off. And now we'll have to put this piece in. It's the, let me see, it's the rebound damper adjuster rod. And that just goes down in there like that. Okay. Next thing is we're going to put the preload adjuster and the cap together. We'll just put a tiny wee bit of fork oil around there and around that O-ring. Now you can buy new O-rings for these, but these to me look fine. The other thing is that you need to adjust this. You need to adjust that so that it's, the end of it is 25 millimeters from the end of that. And I have a depth gauge here. Right? And I just adjust that there until it reads 25 millimeters. No, that's too much. That's it there. 25 millimeters. I'm touching the end of that. Okay. And so now we're just going to put this into here. Screw it up. Screw it fully up so that you're taking as much tension off the spring as possible when you go to reinstall that again. Put another wee bit of fork oil around that there and around this O-ring here, and then put that on there like that. Okay. Now, as I say, we've adjusted that so it's 11 millimeters, and then we're sort of we're just screwing that down onto that it bottoms out on that like that. Okay, now we want to snug that there up. It says 15 Newton meters, but we can't really go with 15 Newton meters because, you know, I mean, this is an open end spanner on here, so you're just basically tightening that there up, that it's tight, you know. That's it. All right, and then all you're doing is you're now, let's put a wee bit of oil on that there. You're now just bringing that up like that it's fully up, and you're just tightening that on like that. Now obviously you can't torque this here up because I think it's 23 Newton meters and you wouldn't be able to do that by hand. So you're just tightening that up like that. I could put, you see the way I put a deep socket because I've got this here fully extended, so I can kind of just do that. I think my hand's slipping around on that. Wait till I get. Right. So that's that, all done. There you go. The only thing left to do is to fit one of these new stone or bug guards on to there. Some people don't want those on because they've got a fork brace and they just take them off. Now they're a bit stiff to put on, so I've got a pot of warm water. I'm just going to drop it in there for a wee minute or two to soften it up, make it a bit softer anyway, and then kind of just, you know, push it into place. You know, it should just go in pretty easily once it you know, gets a bit more pliable. Put a wee bit of fork oil around that. Let's see that. Just keep that in there for a wee minute yet. Just want that there to be nice and soft for me to push on. Okay, well, give it a go. There's a wee notch there. There's a wee notch there where there's a wee tang just locates that wee tang there, just locates into it. Might be a wee bit of a push, but we'll try. We'll try. Sort of. Right. That's it there. That's it. Just as easy as that. Right, set that out of the way. Try not to knock it over. Okay, guys. So there it is. That's one done. All right, now obviously have to tighten this nut up. 23 Newton meters. I have to, you know, do all my fork settings after that. But there you go. That's one of them done. All right, guys. So that's the two forks fully done. And you know, there was admittedly quite a number of videos in this series, but I just wanted to cover everything as comprehensively as I possibly could. And I wanted to cover also making some little tools that obviously make the job just so much easier than, you know, struggling. You know, you can improvise and use whatever you wish and get the job done and more than likely be happy with it, you know. But I mean, I just like to try and, you know, make the job as smoothly, to run as smoothly as possible, and, you know, you don't run into any snags or hiccups or anything like that, you know. So really, if it means making a few wee tools to do that, well then so be it. It worked out fine, and all of those wee things that I made and showed you how to make were successful. So there it is, guys. You know, I mean, they just are sitting there, perfectly built, oil in them, everything's ready. Just need to do the you know, the fork settings, and which I will do after I get the forks in. And I mean, I'll put them in and I'll have to torque that there, those caps up to 23 Newton meters, etc. You know, but and do all the adjustments. But anyway, look, lads, thanks for staying with me. Thanks for tuning in. I'm very happy with the end result, and I hope it's inspired anybody who might otherwise have thought, oh, I don't want to take a job like that on, to have a go at it yourself. And if you find the videos helpful and beneficial to follow along with, and the information contained in them to be of use to you, that'll be a success then. So okay, guys, look, I'm going to wrap it up there, and stay tuned for the next one.